Hi everyone, welcome back to My Life Coach Sandra, the platform where we talk about everything from mindset shifts, anxiety, creating a mindset that works for you. Also, you can live a life that completely works for you, and yeah, you can enjoy, vibe out and live your best life. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Today's video is going to be a little bit less structured, I think I'm gonna say, because I kind of got to a point where I was like, I love making YouTube videos, but I feel as though like they're really structured and I don't want them to feel as though like I'm teaching you or this is like a course. I kind of want you to learn and create something that completely works for you. I'm sat on my bed to kind of inspire myself in a new space and see how that works and see how that shifts and changes. We did say we're going to learn together, we're going to go on this journey together. So as I learn, you learn with me. Remember that we are currently doing a step ahead. If it's a little bit loud, I don't know what's going on outside. Side note, don't know if it's construction, no idea, but that's none of our business. Like it's none of mine. So we're just gonna power through, and if you can hear me, amazing. But yeah, remember that these videos are part of an entire series all about a step ahead, the e-workbook, which you can find in the description bar below. And yeah, download it, work alongside with me, or just download it and do it in your own time. But these videos will always be on YouTube, they will always be here, and when you're ready to do the work, come find me, sweetie. So yeah, enjoy the video and see you in the next one. Bye. I'm filming this on my phone, so this is kind of a way of looking at being creative. Like, even if you don't have the means, make it work and do something. We all have like these cool technological things that can do things. Anyway, so I think I'm gonna look here rather than here because this makes more sense. Let me know if it makes more sense. But today's video is all about creativity and being creative with your mindset. And you might not know this and you might not realize this, especially when you have an anxious mindset or you have a mindset that's fixed in your way of thinking and you're like, I can't get out of this. If you have an anxious mindset or a mindset that tends to slide towards negative self-talk, thinking you can't do things, worrying about possible futures and possible outcomes, you are already a very creative person. What I mean by saying you are already a creative person, I kind of always say that if you have an anxious mindset or a fixed mindset, you're really good at creating narratives, creating stories, telling yourself stories. And usually those stories are never really in your favor or in the favor of those around you or your environment. It's always something's going wrong, something bad is happening, the ball's about to drop, or something's about to give, and it's always thinking in that way and thinking about how can I get out of these scenarios to kind of protect yourself and to keep your mindset or your worries at bay. So if you already know you're creative, I've just told you you're a very creative person, you're great at telling yourself stories and protecting yourself. I think it's time for us to get creative when it comes to creating a mindset that completely works for us. We can create, to an extent, what our lives can look like, right? There are so many things going on in the world that are out of our control, and sometimes we feel as though we have no control whatsoever, we have no power whatsoever. But what we do have power over is the way that we think, the way that we express our thoughts, and the way that we allow our mindset to kind of push us into our futures. We have control over that. We have power over our thoughts. If we have power over our thoughts, we can be as creative as we want to in our minds and as creative as we want to in our lives, regardless of what's happening outside of ourselves. I just realized I'm filming out my window, so now I can see a glare from outside. So if you see this, look, I'm being creative today. In my spirit, in my heart of hearts, I really couldn't bring myself to set up my whole filming situation. So I thought, let me just prop my phone up and film something, because I know it's so important to keep creating these videos and to keep pushing myself to do things outside of my comfort zone, so you guys can do things outside of your comfort zone and stick to the promises you make yourself and the promises that you make other people, because you know that it's good for you and it's good for everybody else. So we're going to continue and push forward. What I was saying is kind of breaking it down into, okay, a fixed mindset is, for example, you're experiencing an anxious mindset right now. You feel as though everything you think about, every story you tell yourself is endlessly negative. Every opportunity is going to end in endless negativity, or it's going to harm you in some kind of way, and all you want to do is protect yourself. So you're kind of avoiding the things that you don't really know, or that you don't really trust, or that you don't really feel safe around. I want to get you to a place where you're like, you know what, I don't know this place, it's unfamiliar, but I trust myself, I know myself, and I know that I can create the life that works for me and that actually is for me, right? So how do you do this? There might be this misconception that you have to, for example, be in a creative space or have a creative career or come from a creative background to be able to create. And I think it's so important to remember that as a human being, creation is something that is so natural to us. It's something that happens all the time. We create like the weirdest recipes. If you've heard of Girl Dinner, you know exactly what women and girls can do and how they can eat, what their eating habits are when it comes to creating meals. We can be so creative in the most random ways, and we can be creative with our mind. We can be creative in the way of thinking. So the first thing to do is find your the first thing to do is find your enthusiasm. Find things that bring you joy, find things that inspire you, find things that make you want to get up in the morning or get up and do something, or that just make you want to kind of challenge your mind, to physically move your body, that make you want. Find things that make you want to move, that make you want to grow, that make you want to challenge yourself, that make you want to fall in love, make money. Find those things, find your enthusiasm, because that's when you get creative. Because when you're pushed or kind of, what's the word? When you're excited about something, you're more likely to do it. So when you're excited by the possibilities of something, or you're excited by, you know, the possibility of change, when you're excited by possibility, you're more likely to do it. And if you're new to something and you don't know how to do that said thing, get creative with it. Try things out, right? Trial and error is one of the greatest gifts that comes from being creative. You don't necessarily have to be a creative person to get creative. The next thing would be, when you think about the challenges that you face, when you think about your mindset right now, and you think about the things that you don't like and the things that you want to change or work on or improve on, whatever you're thinking about right now, I want you to think about your challenges and use those challenges as information, right? The things that you really dislike, use it as information. So your brain is kind of just filling you with information. You just know stuff right now, and you're like, okay, I have a challenge, I have something that I don't like, I have something that I want to change. Let's get creative with how we can change these things. Now, I personally can't turn around and tell you how to be creative. I can give you tips, tricks, ideas, but I can't tell you how you can be creative, because I think it's so personal. So for example, I had this mental challenge and I was having a mental block around kind of creating content, who I was, what type of coach I was, and these were all the challenges that I was facing. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know where, I was just thinking a lot of don't knows. It was a lot of I don't know. I was like, okay, I can get creative with what I do know, and what I do know is that I'm resilient. What I do know is that I can do a lot of very random things, and I can have very random conversations with a lot of people. So I'm like, I'm going to keep doing that, and I'm going to get creative with it. So regardless of if I'm good at something or if I'm having like a mental block or a challenge, I'm going to do the best that I can, and I'm going to get creative with it. So I said, I'm going to sit on my bed and I'm just going to film the video on my phone. Like, I'm just going to sit here and talk and hope that the idea inspires you to get creative with whatever it is that you're doing to kind of overcome that challenge. Yes, you could have an anxious mindset that you're working on, and yes, things can change and difficulties can come up, but in this journey, on your way to a mindset that works for you, on your way to shifting your perspective and shifting the way that you look at life, you can get creative with that. It doesn't have to be the same as somebody else. It's so bespoke, it's so specific to you, that I can't tell you how to get creative. In the workbook, this section is so almost tiny, or not insignificant, but just very small in what it does give you and what is available to you and the advice that's in there, because it's for you to get creative. You're like, okay, you haven't told me anything, like this one page is all I've got. Okay, what now? What are you going to do with that one page? What are you going to learn from that one page? It can be so random, but what are you going to do with it? How are you going to change things around? You are the creator, you are the creative. So the ball is in your court for this video, in this session. We are at the end of this video. It was a quick one. It wasn't as long as I thought it would be, but I know putting something out there is way more important than it being perfect. And I got creative with it, and I'm very proud of myself. And you can be proud of yourself too by just doing something in the most random way, but saying you've done it. So I hope that video helped. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, do all the stuff that you need to do to always be reminded that these videos do come out and they are for you. You can find me anywhere under My Life Coach Sandra, or just leave a comment down below and I will always reply. I don't miss any comments. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.